Hello, everyone, and welcome back. My name is LimBryn, and today is episode 16, I think, maybe. I hope I'm right this time. And we're starting by building this aqueduct, which is kind of a continuation of the last episode where we built this little, bee farm slash apiary type thing, and the water was kind of just coming out of here from nowhere, and now it is coming out of nowhere. It's slightly farther away, so, very productive. But I'm going to continue to build this aqueduct as the city expands that way so that eventually the source of water actually makes sense and is over here somewhere. But for now, I'm not really working on that area, so I'm just leaving it like this so I know how much space I have to play with around here where the aqueduct needs to actually exist. But speaking of the water and stuff, this river does also abruptly end, which is why today I'd like to fix that so it actually expands all the way over down under this bridge at least. I'm probably not going to completely finish the river today and have it actually go off of the cliffs, but I'd like to get this little section between the two bits of road actually done. So, start off today's episode. Well, I guess that's not start off, but we're going to do a second time lapse because I've designed a little building to go on this side of the river, and that is what we're going to start with. So without further ado, let's build a little flower shop right in this little corner. That is another absolutely stellar building for Parrotkeep. I really like how this one turned out. It is maybe a little bit too much azaleas on this side, but other than that, I think it's perfect. So it's kind of it's a weird one, but I do really like it because it doesn't really have a roof. It just kind of has this little rooftop garden type thing because it's supposed to be a flower shop, so this is where the flowers would actually be grown and stuff, I guess. I haven't really put up any signage yet, but then again, I forgot to do that on this shop too, so I'll finish it later. But anyway, the interior is very, very simple. It's super open, which I don't know. I kind of just did this because I couldn't figure out a way to put a wall over here without it looking weird, with it being overhanging the river and stuff. But I do really like it. And then upstairs is of course the little flower garden, and down here is the basement, which is a bedroom. And I really like this little bedroom because I don't know, it's kind of cute, and it's subterranean, mostly kind of on that side, I guess, but it has a bunch of windows. I love it. I mostly love the view of it from the outside because it's all these tiny little windows, and it's kind of just cool and cradled underneath the rest of the building. I really love how this build turned out. I should replace that with not with the one that covers the side as well, so there's not a log visible there. Anyway, that's kind of besides the point. But I also expanded the river so it goes all the way under the bridge now. And this side of the river is not done yet because there's nothing here, and I don't know how the river's going to interact with the stuff over here yet, so I haven't done anything. But I have put these little shrubs around because I figured I kind of want to break up some of the stuff with the river, and that is also why I put this tree in, because it was in the middle of the river, but I also didn't want to get rid of the tree because I'm trying to keep at least some of the natural greenery of Parrotkeep, which is kind of hard to do with it being a fully developed city and stuff. But I've tried to do that with the parrot cage houses that are over there. They're kind of hanging in the trees. So I'm leaving this tree and curving it that way, partially so I don't have to put anything here because I don't feel like I can really put a building over the river and have it look good. So instead, there's just a tree kind of curving around. I might put something in this little nook at some point, but I think for now it's fine. So now that we got that building done, I think it's time we move on to the other side of this little river. It's going to be a building right here. Now, I haven't designed this one, which is a first for the buildings I'm building here, because these two I both spent a couple hours designing creative, which is a bit much time if I want to fill, this entire area. So this one, I'm just going to kind of freestyle, and we'll see how it goes. It's going to be bigger than these two. It's going to take up this entire space from this road to that road, and about to there somewhere, I don't know. So it's going to be a tavern. I think I'm going to call it the Riverpig because it's going to be right on the river. And I don't know, pigs seem to show up in tavern names a lot from my experience. Not that I've like been to any taverns literally ever, but it seems like a good name. So I'm going to kind of go through my process of building these buildings while I do this because I'm not going to do a time lapse, obviously, because I don't have a design to like do a time lapse from, and building things takes me forever when I don't have a design. So I guess let's go ahead and do the first step, which is kind of getting the foundation down. So on this building, that would be this like copper stuff. And on this one, it's this like mahogany or what is it? It's mangrove wood stuff. So I'm going to try and do something like that. It might be mangrove, might be copper. I also might do like the type of dirt stuff I did way over there. We'll see. But I'm going to try and get the basic like layout of the building down, and I will be right back. So I decided to go with a kind of mangrove base with some copper above it, like I did in that building. But unlike that building, that one kind of slopes up and like that as it goes up, whereas this one starts further back and then goes forward, which I think looks pretty good. And the doorway is going to be right here. It's going to be raised up, so it'll be like a stair there or something, but probably not out of spruce. And I think it turned out pretty good. I've just gotten like the basic layout done, but I've mostly been just like thinking about how everything's going to go. So this is going to be like a little entrance area that leads into the main like section of the bar where you'll actually like have tables and a bar for the bar, or tavern, whatever. Anyway, this will be a big seating area, like big seating area room type thing. And I'm thinking there will be possibly more seating area up on the roof because this is going to be just about as tall as the road right next to it. So I'm thinking we have that go all the way up and have a little seating area on the roof. But I can't really do anything of that yet because all of these are super short, because these are kind of my last 10 copper blocks, and I want it to be probably about that height. Okay, that's one too tall. That height. I want it to be 4 blocks tall, I think. So I gotta go mine more copper. But then I can actually get all these walls higher up and like more fleshed out. I don't really know what to do with this wall. It'll probably end up just being mud brick to simplify the stuff up there. But yeah, I'm gonna go mining, and then yeah, then I can get all these walls higher up, hopefully. Well, that was one productive mining session because I am fully stocked up on copper, and I have raised the walls, but I've come across a couple of issues. One of which is that I can't get up here, apparently, but one of which is that this is really close. I was originally going to have a layer of this that went out a whole nother block, so we would literally be touching, which is, you know, kind of not good. So I have to redesign some of this area, which is problem number one. Problem number two is it's been 2 weeks since I recorded a clip, and this is taking me forever because for whatever reason it's really hard for me to just like design stuff in survival. So instead, I'm gonna go do what I normally do and do it in creative because I don't know. I apparently am just not one for designing my builds in survival. It's just too hard. So I'm gonna go get the design for this whole tavern down in creative, and then I will rejoin you back here and we can actually get it built. Okay, I've finished designing it, so now we can actually get building. The first step is let's fix this foundation because it is bad. There we go, that looks a lot better. Obviously the building isn't done yet, but I have fixed all of the outline to give the river a little bit more room, give this building a little bit more room by not having a wall here. That'll be fixed later, don't worry about it. But it's not very detailed yet, so that is the thing we're gonna do next. I'm gonna do all the detailing on the bottom, and then after that we can move on to the top, but there's a lot of stuff left to do on the bottom, so let's get it done. The first level is really coming together now. I've added this wooden trim along the top of it, just like in the apiary building over there, and I think it looks pretty good. Kind of separates the copper from whatever's going to be above it, which I quite like. And I've also added a little wooden trim down here with these like trapdoors and stairs and stuff, which just kind of serves to once again separate the copper from the layer beneath it. Just makes it look a little bit cleaner, I think. Did up the entrance, add some awnings over the door. The first layer is now done, so let's move on to the roof. It's more of like an outdoor seating area, but nonetheless, roof is done. I also completed this little area, which is quite cute. I think this can be the bartender's like bedroom or whatever, and it is quite accessible to like the customers, but whatever, I don't know, it's fine. Anyway, now I have to get some furnishings in here, chairs, tables, that sort of stuff. So let's do it. And the build is done, mostly. I've done all of the interior, chairs, tables, all that sort of stuff. Like I mentioned, I put in some paintings, a little keg for beer, probably. That's, I assume, what they're serving here. There's more tables up here. Like I said, there's not very many of them. But, you know, whatever. And that one doesn't have a pillow because it doesn't have room for a pillow. But I really like this chair design that I used over in that building over there. I think it looks really good. And now, I think we're pretty much done. Like I said mostly, because there's this little area that I would definitely consider part of this build that has nothing in it. But I'm not gonna fix that right now because I don't feel like it. And yeah, that'll probably have something to do with whatever building goes right next to this one, like right in this little area. And I have zero clue what is going in that area. So, yeah. And I suppose another caveat to that mostly is that this build, I said in the beginning of the video, probably maybe, was going to be a tavern slash inn, and I haven't really built the inn yet. Now, there is a pretty good reason for that, because obviously there's not actually room in this building I've constructed for an inn. There's literally no room left. I've filled in everything. But there is room above this building for an inn, and over there I made these little like parrot cage thingies, and I absolutely love them. So instead of having some rooms jammed into a little enclosed space like I did back in Turtle Keep's Inn, I'm just gonna have some little parrot cages hanging up in the trees. I don't really know how you're gonna get up to them because there's not really like a place that works super well for that, but I can figure that out later. For now, I'm just going to take all of these little branches they're sticking out, probably add a few to that tree because that tree is, of course, you know, man-made because it curves, so it doesn't have any vines or branches on it, but add some branches to that, and I'm just going to stick little parrot cages on all of these little branches, and then we should essentially have an inn. And there we go. That's a whole 7 parrot cages up in the trees. I think they look absolutely amazing. There are only 7 of them, which is maybe a little bit small for an inn, but whatever. The tavern's capacity is only 14, so I think this is fine. Anyway, they're all very simpler. They're exactly the same as the ones hanging in the trees over there. And yeah, there's just 7 of them, so not too many. And I really like how they turned out, especially from like the road down here. Adds a little bit of ambience, or I guess like feeling to it when you like see the buildings immediately up in the trees. Makes it feel a little bit more settled. Should really get these vines under control. They're kind of annoying. But anyway, I think that is this build all done. I did the tavern, did the inn, and that's pretty much all I wanted to get done today. So I think I'm going to go ahead and end this one here. But, as always, we gotta update the map, because this is honestly the most fun part of making these. So, it should be the central one, or, oh, actually, it might have a little bit of this one in it, too. But I'm gonna try the central one first. Yeah, that seems to have gotten all of it. So, it's right, just kinda there. Oh, I landed in water, that's nice. Oh yeah, the aqueduct is also new, the thing that I'm in now. I've been working on this episode for a month, so I kind of forgot I added that. But both those things look quite good. Great additions to Parrotkeep. I think that is another great building. I've kind of filled out this entire area now, though, which is quite nice. I'll have to come up with some more buildings to do around there, but I think the next episode is not going to be building because I'm a little worn out. I've been, you know, doing building for a while. But for now, I guess I'm going to go ahead and end this one here. So, like if you liked, subscribe if you like it. Have a great day. And as always, this is a bit too close. I can zoom. Okay, as always, bye-bye. Oh, it's so dumb.